Good day, TF2 people. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. I hope you're enjoying the spooky month, and I hope you're enjoying the new TF2 update. Yep, Scream Fortress 2023 came out just 6 days ago. Halloween has come to TF2, and we of course had the usual new maps, but this time zombie infection. I hope you've been enjoying that. But you know, the usual things as well. We had the likes of a brand new case, many new cosmetics, and of course unusuals. And of course we did also see the likes of new taunts, with of course unusual taunts. But unfortunately for this Halloween, we didn't get any war paints. But you know what, fair enough. We had that in the summer. That's fine. Maybe we'll see war paints at Christmas. Who knows? Maybe we won't. Who knows? But for now, we've got some new content. We chased after it, and you could see that right here in this video. So once again, thank you very much, Trackma, for your wonderful creativity of depicting Hedge in such a way. But yes, if you aren't aware, if you watch this video, you'll see how I engaged when the new update was being, alerted when it came out, how I prepared myself, how I did my buy orders, how I figured out what prices I want to offer and whatnot. So yep, you can see how I engaged like my first unusual buy order, my first unusual taunt buy order, and of course the likes of engaging an all-class unusual hat buy order as well. Loads of interesting things to learn about. Some things you probably aren't even aware of before. You might just be doing TF2 trading, and that's totally fine. But with the Steam market, you can make a ton of profit if you know how to engage it. So consider giving that a good watch and just seeing how I react to everything. And well, the big question was, did we see the likes of any god tier effects? And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. We got some interesting, cool ideas, the likes of the horns and the weather sort of effects, but nothing was considered god tier, which is a shame, but it is what it is. We're still going to wait for the next god tier, it seems. So anyway, the brand new case was the Bone Chilling Bonanza, with its collection of various interesting, goofy looking skins, and we talked about how when a brand new case comes out in TF2, well, the bots, they all magically appear, and they're all idling in their inventories, waiting to get the brand new case, and when they do, instantly send it to one main account, and they just dump it onto the Steam market as fast as they can. It's been 6 days, there is over 100,000 cases on the Steam market. Do not be surprised by this. Again, watch this video and you'll see how it just kind of drastically goes down in price. Like initially it'll be like $3, and then after about an hour it's probably selling for about 30 cents, and that is not at all surprising. Very normal, very routine. So yep, very goofy. Now, I did have a few people in my server. Feel free to go look in my description right now. We have a nice TF2 section in my server. Some people have been opening cases. Dovas has been very successful here, getting some mean captains. Congratulations again. And then we had another guy open this, Hellspawn Horns and a Alaka Blamicon. That might be pretty pricey. So yeah, great unbox there, buddy. So yeah, back over to here. Let's talk about... well, if we didn't see god tier effects, how are we going to talk about the likes of the Tough Break case? Yes, so Tough Break case is one of the best cases to open when brand new limited time unusual effects come out. And Halloween usually is one of the best times to engage in unboxing cases, because you get all the bonus extra things such as unusual fires and like free Manco tickets and free paints and whatnot. We did see a lot of that fairly recently. I did an unboxing stream with two of my moderators, Trackma and Shetz, and they kept getting tons and tons and tons of that. But that's what makes it so cost effective. Look, if you're going to open cases at any point during the year, do it during Halloween, because you get a lot of extra pieces that kind of make you not lose so much money. But anyway, Tough Break case. So typically this is the go-to case to open when new limited time effects come out. And we've been crossing our fingers and hoping that we'd see god tier effects, but didn't happen this year, but, didn't happen last year either. So we're looking at the sales history real quickly, just to get a good look at how everything behaved over the past year. And I'm going to talk to you about how you might want to approach with all your Tough Break cases at the moment. So from what you can see here, last year, August 2022 time, this was selling for about just under 40 cents. But there was a bit of a surge in purchases. What's that all about? Typically, every single year, a lot of people who intend to open a bunch of cases for Halloween will buy in early, right? Don't be surprised by that at all. As you can see right here, it goes up, it goes down. Now, it goes up a fair bit again, because again, people buying in, they're thinking, what's getting a bit close, so I'll probably buy some now. Goes back down again. And then, of course, when the actual update came out last year around early October time, it went up quite high. and then it went back down again. What happened there? Well, again, last year, no God tier effects. So, throughout all of that month, it slowly went down, down, down. Went up a little bit at the very end of the Halloween time, and then it was gone. And between Halloween and Christmas, there's no special event going on. The default effects like smoking and bubbling and nuts and bolts. Oh god, that you can get those effects on your hats, those brand new hats now. So they kind of lose their value, and it's not very nice. But anyway. Christmas came, and unfortunately Christmas did not have God tier effects either, so whilst the price did go back up a fair bit, it didn't last and it went back down again. So basically from January to March there was nothing going on. The price of the Tough Break case went to a very, very low point, but around March time we were alerted at the idea of we potentially might have a major update in the summer, and there was a lot of hype. And then it cooled off after a bit, and eventually in July time, that summer update came out. Unfortunately, no God tier effects again, so maybe next year we shall see. But yeah, we're really hyped up for it, and then like a little while afterwards, we realised holiday-sized update. Oh, remember that. So basically, the routine of expectation now for every single year is that we have 3 holiday-sized updates with limited time effects, and fingers crossed, maybe either this Christmas or next year at some point we will eventually see a God tier effect, and the likes of the Tough Break case will flourish because loads of people want to open it because it has a very good chance of opening an all-class hat, and Tough Break case all classes are pretty good. So yeah, but more specifically, we need to talk about what's happened fairly recently, mainly around, the update. So, again, somewhat early on in September, people bought in a whole bunch. In fact, the price that it was selling for here is higher than what it's selling for now. And, the update came out around here, October time. Nice increase in price for a little bit, and then it went back down because no God tier effect, and it's been trending downwards ever since. So this is the point where we have to kind of get across to you that things like this tend to repeat themselves over and over and over again. Not in the case of, I'm fully expecting we're going to have another instance of no God tier effect around Christmas time, but rather this little period of time right here, so November time. See how it reached the absolute low point around here? This is very likely going to happen all over again with the Tough Break case. If you happen to have Tough Break cases right now, you very likely might want to consider selling them. Now, I have like thousands of these, but I'm in an instance where I'm like, I kind of need to get some extra money. That might sound funny to you, but yeah, I've been spending a lot of money fairly recently due to the fact that I'm invested in 3 different economies on Steam, and I thought to myself, you know what? This price is very likely going to be a whole lot better compared to the price that's going to be in about a month's time and around January time. All right. So me thinking about that, I was like, you know what? I'll sell some. And so far I have sold a good few hundred of them, maybe about 500 about now. But yeah, from here and now, with the current price that it's at, it's expected to go down to a fairly low point at some point around the middle of November. It might potentially even halve in price. And I'm not joking. It tends to happen quite a lot. Like I said, during that period of time, you can only get default effects, and, well, who's going to want to open these cases then? Who's going to want to buy these cases then? And a lot of people who probably bought into these in terms of an investment, they get, upset. They try and ditch them. They try... sunk cost fallacy, I guess you could say, so they try and grab what they can. Now, what I'm saying is if you sell now, you don't have to worry about the lower prices then, if that makes sense. And, well, if you sold these now and bought them around at some point in the middle of November time, well, you probably could buy even more. Or, get some extra bit of money, the choice is yours. But right now, as you can see, in the past 24 hours, we still saw the likes of about 1,000 cases being bought. You're still seeing quite a lot of these being bought. Maybe it might cool off now, but again, what did we see with the likes of last year? A lot of people did jump in around at the last moment around here, November time, the very, very end of the Halloween update, where they probably bought a whole bunch just to try and see if they could get lucky at the very, very end of the update. So maybe that'll happen again. We shall see. But at the moment, the price of the case hasn't dramatically gone down, so maybe it's still a perfectly fine time to consider selling some cases. The choice is yours, but I would still expect to regain those cases you sold at some point in November in preparation for Christmas or Smithmas update, which very likely will be happening at the very beginning of December 2023, which is only like 6 weeks away. It's not too far away, is it? No. So you've got to kind of make some moves and figure out what you're doing next, if that makes sense to all of you. You might even consider selling to the highest buy order if it's good enough to you, I guess. Choice is yours. But yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. It was another update without a God tier effect. There were some very interesting workshop submissions, but Valve decides, I guess. But anyway, shall we start talking a little bit more about the new cosmetics that came out? And as you can see, quite a lot of them have been retaining their value. The blues, why are they still kind of okay? You might sit there and say, what do you mean they're like 12 cents? Well, you might have thought with so many cases being opened with the fact that this literally just came out, maybe they'd have been a whole lot cheaper. Well, don't forget, and I think a lot of people need to be a lot more wise as this. If you looked at all the mercenary grade things that you can buy and sell, you might notice that they are not going down any lower than a certain point. Yeah, you can see the cosmetics there. I guess you can mention war paints. I'm not sure if it applies. What's Hedge talking about? Well, what happens every Halloween to a specific item in the game? The description tag. Do you remember this whole thing? Yeah, the Soul Gargoyle. So basically, every Halloween, people like to buy the cheapest thing that they can actually buy, and they like to throw it into the Soul Gargoyle and Transmute, and they like to try and see if they can get a haunted cosmetic. And yeah, for the cheapest things that you can buy, cosmetics like these, come on, please work. Steam's been a bit weird. TF2 and Valve are very weird at the moment. The servers are very awkward, but again, description tag, every Halloween, it's always magically going up in price. So right now, this is currently selling for around 12 cents. And yep, look at that. Look at that. Happens every single year. You can see all these random little spikes every Halloween. Every Halloween. I've got a video already talking about that, but yeah, this is a routine thing. So remember, if you happen to bought like some blue cosmetics, maybe wait until around October time next year to sell them and get just a few more pennies. So again, you might be wondering, if I just quickly hop over to here, I am buying a whole bunch of these for fairly cheap. Like less than or just equal to about 10 cents. And I had a few people asking me like, Hedge, why are you buying the blue grade if they're the cheapest and potentially, least worthwhile? Well, if anything, as I just showed you, they still kind of retain their value. All the new blue grades do tend to retain their value, and they actually are what I call very nice bonds. I can buy these, hold on to them for maybe a good few months, and if I'm desperate to get some quick money, I can just sell these again, and it's not hard. And I basically get my money back or make a penny profit. And again, you might sit there and say, that sounds a bit silly. But I'm like, you don't realise how many instances where I'm like, oh, damn, I could probably do with an extra $10 right now or something. And yeah, I do have several accounts, but things like this do happen. But yeah, I have been quite successful buying a whole bunch of this new content. Don't mind the Christmas things. I've had them for a long time. I'm hoping to sell them for a reasonable profit around Christmas this year. But yep, here you go. I've been buying all of these. And if anything, I could sell them right now and make a profit. I'm not joking. But again, I don't really need to sell these right now. I'll save them for a time where I kind of feel the need to get some quick money, as I just said. So that's cool. That's nice. Yeah, that's something that you can keep in mind for the future. If you figure out that if you offer around 10 cents for your buy order and you end up buying them, at some point about a month or two later, you can still sell them and get your money back or make a little bit of a profit. Or wait until Halloween again next year and maybe make a couple more pennies profit. It's silly, but it is what it is. And that, of course, also applies to the likes of the description tag, because as I mentioned, people like to buy the cheapest things to transmute and try their best to get haunted hats and whatnot. So Halloween transmute. Here we go. So yeah, you remember this thing. You put in like free cosmetics or something that you could just straight up buy, and then you can mail in and da-da-da-da. And the most cost-effective choice is to go buy the cheapest things possible, description tags and cheap blue-grade hats and whatnot. So you get the idea. Very cool, very cool. Right, so we kind of went across all of that. We talked about the cheap things, but then again, I should also mention the more expensive things in this brand new collection. Yeah, the most expensive thing is the payday masks, which is quite funny, isn't it? So I'm under the impression that the clown's cover-up was actually probably intended to be a choice for the, being the red grade, the elite grade cosmetic. But, because it's not like a hat region, it's, paint and whatnot, they probably put the demon, the demonic dome ahead of it, which, at the end of the day, it's still a very cool looking cosmetic, but it's quite funny how the clown one's more expensive. But it's not like the first ever instance of something like that happening. But yeah, I think it looks really cool, the clown cover-up. So this still looks very nice, and it can be unusual, of course. But yeah, it's very likely going to be going down in price. But this, I think that's going to be sticking around for quite some time. Probably going to be sticking around at least $20 for a decent amount of time. Not sure if it's going to go insanely up in price anytime soon, especially with the amount of cases out on the Steam market at the moment. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens next. So, cool stuff, and congratulations to all the workshop creators who got their content accepted, whether it was cosmetics, unusual effects, and yeah, you get the idea. And of course the map makers, can't forget those. So yeah, very cool stuff, very nice. But we should probably start talking about the taunts, yes. And, congratulations to people who got their taunts accepted. So there's something that I need to address, and it's, of course, talking about biodas all over again. So, we had the summer update, and we had all of these taunts. And, well, I just wanted to address the situation in regards to the prices of them after a reasonable amount of time. Because when we engaged the taunts, the unusual taunts and the unusual fires, when they first appeared, we're offering prices of, like $5 to $6, $10 and $20 and whatnot, weren't we? And unfortunately, they did kind of go down in price pretty quickly. Now, as you can see, this is in my currency. It's pound sterling, which unfortunately not everybody is aware of. But like this right now, this killer signature is now selling for about $9. This killer signature unusual fire is selling for about $8 now. Let's just kind of get a clarification on that. Is that correct? It's a little bit awkward. Sorry about this. But yeah, the main point is, always keep an eye on all of your buy orders that you offer, all right? You have to. If the price or if the listings are getting cheaper and getting very close to your buy order price, you should very much consider maybe removing the buy order, because it's very likely to get cheaper and cheaper. For example, you can see this guy has 5 of them and he's just basically building up a wall at a fairly cheap price. This very likely is only going to keep going down. But as of now, this is selling for about $8.50 to $9. So, could it go any lower? Potentially, but yeah, we shall see. So yeah, keep an eye on all the new content that you buy ordered, and yep, you can see the unusual fire here. It's gotten cheaper. Why? Because loads of people opening cases initially. Loads more of these came into existence. Loads more of these have appeared on the Steam market. So yeah, more listings, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that many people are buying them. So yeah, that's a fair bit awkward. But yeah, I went and looked at all of these other ones. So yeah, Star Spangled Strategy Taunt, currently selling for about $10, and the Unusual Fire selling for about $11. The Head Doctor, this is selling for about $8.50 to $9, and this Head Doctor Unusual Fire just short of about $10. All the single class taunts tend to go down in price pretty low. They tend to drop fairly low, especially so when it's that period of time where it's not a limited time like event going on. So basically when only the default effects are out. This applies to hats as well. You tend to see the value of each unusual hat and each unusual taunt go down pretty sharply. Yeah, because they're getting like Silver Cyclone, and hats are getting like bubbling and smoking and whatnot. And people don't really want them, do they? So those tend to go fairly low. They tend to sell them to the highest buy order. The buy order build up kind of slowly disappears, and then the prices of the content slowly goes down as well. So awkward. And this is why I keep telling you, always keep an eye on your buy orders. So yeah, this was the summer. Killer Joke, which was a multi-class taunt, well, that's still selling for about $20. The Unusual Fire still selling for about $23 to $25. Yep. And the Road Rager, which is basically a little wacky racer car. Well, that's still selling for a very decent price. This is still selling for about $33, and the Unusual Fire is still selling for about $25. So that's still working out very nicely. So that's the summer. Now we need to go take a look at the likes of Halloween. Yes, these are all the new things. We have the likes of NextSnap right here, and as you can see, this buy order is about $20. I was feeling confident in this because it's a multi-class unusual effect. Basically, you can interact with people, like with the high five and the rock, paper, scissors and whatnot. NextSnap's an interactive taunt that you can do with other people in the game, and any class can use it, so it gets more usage. Therefore, it would be, apparently, more valuable. So, yes, knowing these types of things made me realise I should offer a fairly decent price, but I have to constantly keep an eye on it. Whilst the listings here are still fairly high, which is very nice to see, if I do pick one up, I could make a fairly decent profit, I'm hoping. But, again, maybe this might dramatically go down in price as more and more of them appear, but due to the fact that, well, considering that we didn't get a God tier effect this year, maybe not that many unusual files were being found, so maybe the value of this will be holding for quite some time. Ooh, that might work out quite alright for me, won't it? But yeah, also keep an eye on the likes of the NextSnap taunt itself. And yep, this is still holding up ever so nicely. The highest buy order right now is currently at $42, so you can see that there's a lot more value in this. But if I were to show you the other taunts and whatnot, so Raw War. This is a single class taunt. Whilst you can see a weapon whilst doing the taunt, it's only used by Demo Man, and I'm not 100% sure this is going to be holding forever. Again, as time goes on, more and more of these will be seen, and eventually you're going to see some with the likes of Silver Cyclone. Well, you know what, Fountains of Delight might be pretty cool. Yeah. Holy Grail, well, Holy Grail's not too bad, but you know what I'm on about. So, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually the likes of these do just keep going down and down and down in price. They're still fairly new, so they're still fairly pricey, but give it some time, they're going to drop pretty low, and if you don't keep an eye on all of your buy orders, you might be in some trouble. That's the main point. That's the main thing I was trying to get across to all of you. So always keep an eye on all of your buy orders. Always make sure that you have enough inventory space when you're buying all of these things. Yep, that can also be a problem. So yep, very nice, very cool. And now we have Smithmas to look forward to. So, yeah, again, it was just a case of maintain your buy orders and potentially you'll be a whole lot more happier. And that's basically the general gist. There's the front page of the TF2 Steam Market. I'll refresh. Has it changed? Not really. And then scroll down here and you can see some of the stronger buy orders I did for the TF2 stuff. Yep, so this account only did a few, but it was just to put down a stronger buy order. I believe this account over here has a whole lot more. Yes, there. Yeah, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of buy orders. Tons. Many. But yeah, you got to cast your rod out and fish. This is what TF2's like. If you don't put a buy order down, you're never going to be able to pick something up interesting. But if you keep doing it for everything, every now and then you're going to pick up something fairly interesting, and you might be able to sell it for a whole lot more money. You know what? Again, I said it in the previous video, and I'll say it again. I randomly picked up a summer hat, an unusual summer hat, and had green energy on it, which potentially could sell for a very decent penny. And I only bought that for about $10. Right now, I'm trying to see if I can sell it for $60. I'll start lowering it down a bit, but that for a $50 profit, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. That worked out wonderfully. Also, yeah, like Voodoo-Cursed souls, I should also mention this. These went up in price ever so nicely. This Scout soul right now is selling for like $7, $8. I'm not joking. Look at that. Look at how it just magically went up in price. So earlier this year, this was selling for like next to nothing. This was selling for like $2. $2 back in March. Now it sells for like $8, $9. The more you know. So, what are you going to do for Halloween next year? What are you going to buy during the year for a fairly decent price, but sell at a much higher price around Halloween next year? You've been informed, but I've got a video talking about that already. So, I'm just saying. So, yeah, I made a lot of profit out of those things. And I do believe if I quickly hop over to the likes of here, I think I do have some more voodoo. Yep, I'm still selling these cases a fair bit. Around 50 is fine, so I'll leave that for a bit. Let them sell, and then I'll list some more. If I type in Voo. Ah, there we go. Yes, I've still got some more to sell. More profits to be made. So, yeah, the more you know, the more profits you can make. And, yeah. So, it was a perfectly normal update, typical, usual routine, but with my buy orders, I probably won't see anything appear in front of me until maybe another month or two. But again, I'll pick up the new hats I might have buy ordered, and maybe they're going to have some wonderful effects, and maybe I'll sell them for like a quick $20 profit, or maybe magically I'll buy them with a wonderful effect and I'll sell them for maybe $100 profit. Who knows, but it does happen, alright? It does happen. And that also applies to taunts and whatnot. So keep an eye out for everything. That's all you need to know. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Please consider watching this video to understand everything in regards to buy orders, because you probably saw this by itself and have no idea what I'm on about. But yeah, thank you very much once again. Catch you later, and let's look forward to Christmas / Smithmas update. See you later. Bye.